Welcome to the book launch for Elliot Rubin for his latest book, Poems Momma Never Read Me. I realize, Elliot, that this is like maybe the third book launch we've done this year for you. You're our quarterly guest. So, and there's more to come next year. So, congratulations, Elliot, on your new book. Every time I read your poetry, I am just more and more amazed all the time. You always send me a few poems that I have to question, which keeps me on my toes. And definitely, you must be somehow, I think you need to do a DNA test to see if you're related to Bukowski. So, because I think there's something in there. But welcome, everybody. I am dealing with this bug that's going around, so I'm not going to do too much talking. And so I want to thank our three people who volunteered to read today. We have Charlene Brown, Roberta Badarsky, Jill Sharon Kimmelman, and welcome everyone else who's come to share in this excitement of this book launch. So happy to be a part of Elliot's fan club. I'm going to start with Jill. Jill, would you like to go ahead and do a reading of Elliot's poem and then one of your own?
I'll be happy to. Hi, everybody. Elliot wrote a piece called Music at an Arena. And as soon as I read it, I knew this was the one I wanted to share. This is a Bruce Springsteen concert from Elliot's perspective, Music at an Arena. The rock concert sells out. A megastar from the shore plays hit after hit as the high seats are high from hit after hit of inhaled weed smoke. When Clarence's sax starts to wail, the arena goes crazy. Everyone is on their feet to sing along word for word as a cloud of smoke covers the stage created by the audience in a smoke-free building, all but ignored. Rolled marijuana cigarettes light up, people hit up. Coolness and calmness float. Peace, sex, rock and roll rule. Everyone's happy. It's a great happening concert in the Meadowlands tonight. I love that, Elliot.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I lived through it.
I have one of my own. It's called Peace Now, More Than Ever. All lives matter. Squandering time in cerebral circles, debating the subtleties that mystify. Like Talmudic scholars with flowing beards and forelocks, they pore over our laws and loopholes to justify their actions. Far worse, their inaction. Legal penguins charged with ending violence, to find a way to restructure our world for non-violence, to end the quaking, shaking, and fearsome changes each new day delivers, to fully embrace beliefs that once drove our ancestors to seek refuge and individual freedoms. Between scholars who whisper their questions so softly, only God hears their pleas. Vigilant soldiers following orders to burn, maim, assault, and erase any semblance of those who dare to fight back. We need peace in remote villages, in our cities, cooler heads must prevail. New lessons must be learned, passed on. What we value now has to change. What we prioritize has to shift into rescue mode. If we are to pass on this planet to our children's children with confidence of its survival, education, faith, and a worldwide commitment to nonviolence must begin today. Thank you.
Very nice.
Very nice.
Thank you.
Very nice.
Charlie?
Well, congratulations on yet another publication, Elliot. Very cool. I enjoyed reading it very much. And today I am going to read a 1950 sleepover. At Grandma's home is exciting. Never forgotten. I'm 5. The antique wooden twin bed is too long, high off the ground with white, wrinkle-free, starched, stretched sheets, heavy blanket, soft pillow. She lives on the second floor over Dad's store, while my window faces Coney Island Avenue, and steel trolley car wheels below grind loudly through the night, and car lights reflect through pale, translucent shades, crossing from one side of the ceiling to the other, while Grandfather, in the bed next to mine, after drinking a large milk glass of Martin's 20-year-old scotch, snores too loudly for me to sleep until I'm exhausted. So, thought that captured it well. Being a kid in grandparents' house, I remember snoring grandparents. All right, I'd like to share with you all one of mine. This is Carl of Eldorado Park. Rode his man-sized tricycle around the neighborhood. Had a smile for everyone known and unknown. Rung the doorbell to remind the neighbors the street sweeper would round the streets soon. Don't forget to move the car. Fished in the nature park pond, caught bluegill and trout, released them to catch again tomorrow. Littered his conversation with enough language to fit in with other grown men out for a morning of pole sitting. Swam with the local kids when invited. His eternal boyness played Marco Polo like he was 6, not 60. At the end, his stomach grew and grew with cancer we knew would take him. Maybe in a different decade, Carl would have been a bagger at the grocery store or busboy at the golf course restaurant. Instead, he was the neighborhood guardian who always waved and smiled good morning or cursed a speeding car as he rounded the curb. That's it.
Very nice.
Thank you, Charlie. It's very nice.
Thank you.
Okay, Roberta.
Good afternoon, everybody. I wanted to thank Elliot for his generosity and his encouragement over the years. He's been a true selfless mentor to myself and other people. I want to read 2 short poems of Elliot's and then a poem of my own that I dedicated to Elliot. This is called Poetry Books. As you travel on a reader's poetic road, books roll down bookstore hills, and an obscure poet might catch your eye. Most poetry tombs are filled with pebbles. Occasionally, one book blocks the road with a boulder of a poem a reader can't ignore, forget, or go around. Rarely in a lifetime, a whole mountain cascades into the roadblock book of poetry readers will cherish for life.
Thank you.
The second poem is also about poetry. It's called Finished. When a poet dies, a part of humanity does too. Their personal meter expires. Will the universe mourn the loss? Who is going to continue to write the unobvious in words to entertain, not offend? Who will do it? Stanzas need to be written, syllables counted, sonnets incubated in a mind's fallopian tubes as they wait to be born. Remember, there's no time without rhyme for endings. Is called Mutual, and I wrote it for Elliot. Poem looks to the poet. Its words evoke images, provoke emotions. Its rhymes engage the ear. Novelty sound pairings are perfection in verse. The poet looks to the poem, interacts, toys with it, makes changes in the scheme with varied inflections, dynamics, emphasis, dialects, rests. The marriage of poet to poem, a triad actually with its reader, is one of great regard, tenderness even, that outlives poet and reader both, escaping into bountiful heavens of beauty beyond all three. Thank you.
Thank you, Roberta. Elliot, our guest of honor.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
So what came behind this book?
Just my normal things hit me, and I write about it, and I write the way I enjoy writing, what I like to read, which is primarily Bukowski, O'Hara, some. I'm having a senior moment. Ginsberg, Freelandheisen, the beat poets. I do very little rhyming, although on occasion I slide into that dark side of the poetic world. So I'm going to just read two from the book. This one is called Helper. Lower Manhattan streets are narrow and curved, remnants of New Amsterdam in the day when Dutch held sway. Yet today, they gather flocks of harried walkers who gawk at pretty people on their way to work or lunch, while girls in short skirts are fancy flowers at the front desk, employed by wealthy businessmen who fly them to distant meetings as secretaries, though they can't do shorthand or type, but their assets keep them at work while they stay silent to enjoy the perks of gourmet dinners, lush hotels, and all expense paid travels far from spousal questions. That's when I worked in Wall Street years ago. And the next one is my takeoff of a Frank O'Hara influenced 42nd Street Stroll, 1963. The first thing I notice on an iconic curved woman are her long legs, enmeshed in black, skin-tight stockings, which hug snug, alluring curves like a second skin. She always smiles as I approach, a talk-to-me expression, then a solicitation. As a city boy, I've seen this implication on too many corners, too many streets. They always ask me if I want to do freaks, but I tell them honestly, sorry, I'm on my way for some eats. They always say, too bad, I have something that nothing beats, if you want some tasty treats. Then I stop in Needix for a soda and hot dog while she waits for dates year round, in hot or cold, not timid, always bold. When I was in college, my grandfather was in the scrap metal business, and he was a wrestling fan with Bruno Sammartino, and all these guys, and he liked to go to the old Madison Square Garden on 10th Avenue in the 40s, just north of 42nd Street, and in the 60s, 42nd Street was just a sewer with the nude theaters, pimps, prostitutes, drug dealers, and You took your life in your hands. But he would send me there with cash, and he would buy a whole row of seats for all the guys that worked in the shop. And I used to have to go there, and I would wait until there was nobody by the box office because I didn't want to take a handful of cash out. I was afraid between the time I gave it and the time he took it, I would get killed. So I had to wait till nobody was by the box office, and I was standing on the street watching all this stuff. And that's how that poem came. But you know, you write about what you know, or see or heard or read. And if you write it well enough, people think you actually lived it. Some of these I did live through, that one in particular. And that's it. That's what I write about. And thank you all for coming. Nice seeing some friendly faces.
What are you working on now?
Oh, please.
What's not working on right now?
Yeah. Have you discovered anything new or exciting that you haven't tried before?
Yes. I started to write a children's Christmas book titled Sigmund the Elf. And so far it's just an outline, and I have to flesh it out a little bit. And then you can have your artist friend draw it, Lisa.
Yeah. You have to talk to Kaylin.
Yeah, but that's where I'm at the moment. Plus, I'm still writing books, and we'll see where we go.
Elliot, is it similar to Yiddle fairy tales?
No,
Oh, different. Okay.
really different. No, the Little Fairy Tales. I wrote a book where I took European traditional fairy tales and I gave it a Jewish slant. It's called Yiddle Fairy Tales. And I read and I go around, I do speaking engagements to Hadassahs, this past Thursday, I did one on Zoom with a synagogue in Arizona. And then hopefully they buy the book. If it's in person, I bring the books with me. But I wasn't in Arizona Thursday night. So, see what happens. But I keep busy besides my part-time job that I just got. That's killing me. I have to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning and drive almost 40 minutes.
Ugh.
I'm working for a web design company that does web design. And it's only Wednesday mornings that I work from 7 to 9. I go to a business networking group that he paid for me to join to get leads for his business. And so far, in 4 weeks, I've had three leads. So, yeah.
Well, I guess you're making it worth it for him.
Mm-hmm.
Well, eventually, but you have to have to talk to people,
That'd be natural for you.
Well, the major newspaper in Northern Jersey, the Star Ledger, is ceasing print production in February, and they were the #1 paper in New Jersey, and they also print for 6 other papers in South Jersey. So I got up there, and these are all business people in the group, and I said, "Where are you going to advertise? You can't advertise in newspapers anymore. There are none." And what happened is Google is becoming the newspaper of New Jersey. And if your website is not up to par and your SEO isn't there, which is search engine optimization, no one's going to find you. And the guys there that it makes sense to them. And you'd be surprised how many people have a website and they don't optimize it. Or they had, a friend, a nephew, a kid, somebody, and it's really not up to par. And then the SEO, which is the keywords that tells Google, to come to you, is ignored. So it's like standing on the corner, say, "I'm here," but nobody else can find you. So that's, I just have to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning to get there. So that's the only drawback. Otherwise, it's fun,
Elliot will be sending out in his email group. There's a book launch special coming up tomorrow, starting tomorrow for a week. There will be the Kindle for 99 cents. And there's also another special that Elliot has a link for. You can go to prolificpost.com to access all the links for Elliot's book.
Yeah, we got
Elliot, pick a number between 1 and 14.
let's pick lucky 13.
Okay. Safraz, that makes you the winner of a copy of Elliot's book. Congratulations. Where'd
Thanks,
Safraz
Lisa.
go?
It's the first time I've ever won anything.
You've had a lucky month. You've been on the push tour. Now
Congratulations.
this.
I'm so happy. Thank you, guys. And I love the poetry, and obviously I love you, Elliot and Lisa. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, thank you all for coming out today. Does anybody have a final thought they'd like to share before we go?
Well, I have one. I just want to thank everyone for coming. It is appreciated, and I enjoy being with all of you when I am with you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Elliot, I just want to say thank you for everything that you do. We love your critique groups. You make it fun and exciting, and I think you've really helped everyone's poetry. And Jill, thank you for introducing Elliot to me. My poetry, I always say, there's my poetry before I met Elliot, and there's my poetry after I met Elliot, and you can
Big
see the difference. Yeah, I think everyone would agree that you've kind of changed me. I think you made me into an American writer, but that's not a bad thing. Thank you, congratulations, and #1 Amazon bestseller. Can't be bad.
Yeah, the book hit #1 on Amazon.
Yay.
Yeah, it was nice. Thank you.
Mazel tov.
Thank you. Pleasant. And that's it. I enjoy writing, and I enjoy everyone's company.
See y'all again in about 3 months. Happy holidays, everybody, and thank you.
Same here.
Happy holidays.
I enjoy the
Happy
holiday.
holidays.
Congratulations,
bye.
Elliot.
Congratulations, Elliot.
Thank you very
Wonderful,
much.
wonderful.
Thanks. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.